Hi everybody, hope you're well. Alright, today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about BLUP. I know I've talked about BLUPing a lot in other videos and whatnot, but I had a couple of questions around situations where, people were wondering, about getting um, the BLUP on their horse done to 100. So I'm going to explain a couple of things. Now, one of the questions was, if the horse is over 10 years old, um, can it still get 100 BLUP? And the answer is yes. Okay, I'm going to try and clarify this, right? As I've said before, there are three parts to the BLUP, okay? So there's the skill gain, and that's where you're trying to get everything from the training, the rides, and the competitions in the top three skills, okay? Because you gain skills from training, you gain skills from rides, and you gain skills from competitions. But the top three genetic skills, okay, are the ones that have the effect on the BLUP value. The lower three don't have any effect at all. And then we go to the competition wins. Now, the competition wins is where you want to get 20 wins with the horse. It doesn't matter what type of competition those are, or what combination of wins. So you can get 10 in reining, you get 5 in cross country or whatever, another 5 in trot. As long as they're at first place, and then second, third, fourth, and fifth don't count at all towards the BLUP value. They don't have any effect. And then there's the age. So the horse must be at least 10 years old. Now, there is a VIP perk where you can get 100 BLUP before 10 years old, but I'm not going to talk about that, okay? So basically those are the three things. So the skill gain, the competition wins, and the age, okay? So the question being, if my horse is over 10 years old, can it still get 100 BLUP? Yes, it can, okay? The horse doesn't have to have all of this done by 10 years old. A lot of people just make sure that their horse is BLUP by 10 years old, because whenever you're breeding horses, the earliest you can get your BLUP to 100 without the VIP park is 10. And at 10 years old, you have the opportunity to breed a lot of foals, okay? That's the optimum time. You could maybe just keep BLUPing your horse and get 100 BLUP by the time it's 15, right? Or by the time it's 20 or 30 or whatever, right? But the thing is, just basically what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be done by 10. It's just best to get it done by 10 because it's less time, less resources, and it's more efficient. Now, this is for BLUPing skillers, because a couple of people have been confusing the skilling and BLUPing. Skillers are a totally different thing, okay? If you don't know, go and watch the video I did on skilling. Because skillers aren't done till they're 25, okay? So, what I want to explain right now is the age. So, if the horse, right, because those, that 100 points for the BLUP, okay? I'm going to clarify now. Whenever you get the horse to 10 years old, it gets 40 points for being 10 years old. Now, after it's 10 year old, it doesn't get any more for that, okay? It stops at 40 points. So, just for example, if I was to take this BLUP right now and I aged it to 10 years old and I didn't train it, I didn't do competitions, I didn't do rides with it, and I got no competition wins whatsoever, it would go up, okay? I would at least get 40 points, okay? I probably could actually do that just to show you, but I'll not do it with this one. Now, the next thing I want to explain is, I'm trying to think, right, for competition wins, for winning 20 competitions, you get 30 points, okay? So if you got 20 competition wins and you got the horse to 10-year-old and you didn't do any of this, well, obviously you couldn't, because competitions, if you enter competitions, you're going to get skill again. But just for the sake of explaining it, then you would only, I'm trying to think what's the best way to explain it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm trying to explain it in the easiest way possible. And you get, from this top bit, from skill points, you get 30, okay? From this bit, you get another 30 points, the competition wins. And from the last bit, age, you get 40 points, okay? So 30 and 30, 60, plus another 40 for the 10 years, and there you go, 100 BLUP, alright? So that's how that goes. So that's the easiest way for me to explain it. And trying to think, is there anything else that I got asked that maybe I should explain a bit more on, but just trying to show you that it's, you know, if your horse is 15, okay, it will have got everything it can from the age, okay, so it would have got the 40 points from age because it's over 10, okay, but it maybe you haven't got all the competition, maybe you've only got 5 wins in competitions, and maybe you only have 2 of its top 2 genetic skills bolded, and you don't have the last one done yet. You can still get 100 BLUP, okay, so long as you complete that and you get the rest of your wins, okay. So don't think that if you don't get it done by 10, that's the end of the world. People just try and get it done by 10, as I said, because it's better on resources if you're using agent points. It saves time getting it done. You know, it's going to take you twice as long to get it to 20-year-old. If it takes you to 20-year-old to get it fully blocked, okay? If you got it done by 10, you would have saved time. You maybe would have been able to do another BLUP. That's why people want to get them done by 10. And also for the fact that people want them done by 10 because maybe they want to breed a lot of foals. And if you only got your mare to, you know, to 100 BLUP by 20, okay, and she's not immortal, she'll die after, you know, once she gets to 25, she'll start to lose health. And you've only got a couple of years there to maybe have a few foals out of her. Whereas if she's 10, she could produce you far more foals before she gets to the age of 25. And equally with stallions, stallions could give you a lot more, you know, coverings if they're younger. So, you know, that's really what I'm talking about here. I hope this has clarified it a wee bit, and I know sometimes I was finding it a wee bit hard to explain, but I was trying to think of the easiest way to get around it. But I hope you've had a lovely day, guys, and bye bye.